So the mass of a single atom, as is reported on the periodic table, is the weighted average of all its isotopes. Is that right? We don't know which atom we are dealing with, so we kind of find the weighted average and we report it in AMU. Do you remember from last unit? It's known as atomic mass unit. When you calculate the average, the weighted average, at the end you write the answer in AMU. Do you remember doing average atomic mass calculations?
Yes.
Okay.
It was so tedious.
It was. All right. So now, supposing you take 1 mole atom, which is how many atoms? 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd number of atoms. The same mass that is in AMU now gets converted to what unit? Gets converted to grams, because you have a large number of them. Does that make sense? Okay. So now we are going to find out what we say molar mass. Molar mass of a compound. Molar mass is the mass of how many of those units of those compounds? 1 mole units. Does that make sense? No? Yes. Supposing you take, so this is an element. Are you with me? The smallest particle of an element is what? Is an atom. So this one single thing is an atom. How many atoms are you taking? 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. If you take so many atoms of that element, then the mass will get converted from AMU to grams. All right? So what is the mass of argon? Why is it called molar mass? Because it's the mass of 1 mole atoms. Does that make sense? It's called the molar mass. What is the molar mass of argon? From where do we get this from? The atomic mass becomes the molar mass, right? And what is that mass of argon?
39.948.
39.948 is what is reported on the periodic table. We will always practice the norm of taking how many numbers past the decimal? 2. So what is the mass of molar mass of argon? 39.95 grams per mole. Per mole means for 1 mole atoms of that element. Are we good?
Yeah.
Now, what is the formula of sodium chloride?
NaCl.
NaCl. Now, what is the molar mass of this compound? So just like you had an element, an atom, are you with me? You can have a compound, and the compound can be ionic or covalent. Are you with me? But right now we are dealing with an ionic compound. We know sodium chloride is an ionic compound. Yes or no? It contains a metal and a non-metal. So, well, the structure of sodium chloride looks different. But if you take 1 mole formula units, are you with me? This is called, this unit of 1 sodium and 1 chlorine is called a formula unit. For an ionic compound, what is the smallest entity of that compound? It's called a formula unit. If you take 1 mole formula units of an ionic compound, you will be getting its mass in grams per mole. Are you with me? How do you calculate it for a compound? So that is my formula. Yes or no? It contains 1 sodium and 1 chlorine atom. Are you with me? What is the mass of 1 mole sodium atom off of the periodic table? It's 22.99. What's the mass of 1 chlorine atoms off of the periodic table? 35.45. So if I multiply by 1, it still is 22.99 and 35.45. What do you think I should do with these two masses of individual elements? Add them up, and that gives me what? 58.44 grams per mole. Are we good? That is the molar mass of sodium chloride. Do we understand this?
Yes.
Okay, we are now going to do the formula for calcium phosphate. Calcium is a +2. I'm skipping the second one. Phosphate is a -3. Right? Is the charge on phosphate a -3? So now I need to multiply by the opposite to balance it out. Right? 3 and a 2. So what is my formula for calcium phosphate? Ca3 PO4 2. Right? Is that my formula for calcium phosphate? So what are the elements that make up calcium phosphate? Calcium, phosphorus, and oxygen. How many calcium atoms do I have in a formula unit? 3. How many phosphorus do I have? What do I do with these two? I multiply, distribute it. So how many phosphorus atoms do I have? 2. How many oxygen atoms do I have? 8. Very good? And what is my next step? I multiply by the mass of that element from the periodic table. So what is it going to be for calcium? 40.08, and phosphorus is 30.97 or 98? 97, and oxygen is going to be 16. Now what does my total become for calcium? So it's 4, is that right? Yes, right?
Yeah.
You can borrow a calculator. If anybody needs a calculator, this is going to be a calculator heavy portion. So you can borrow.
Mental math.
Is that right? Is that right? I can make mistakes. Tell me if I'm right or wrong. Am I right? I don't know. You do it on your calculator and tell me if I'm right.
It's right.
You did it?
Yeah.
You got the same answer?
Yeah.
This is so many grams per mole. Sean's still not feeling well? Are you okay, Sean?
He's writing.
You're just tired? He still doesn't look well. That is sad. Are we good? Are we good with calculating molar mass? Is everybody good? Can I move on?
Or we can do one more practice problem.
You want to do one more practice problem? Can I move to the next page then? Yeah.
What's the formula for
Which formula? Which formula? In molar mass? Molar mass page?
Yeah.
It's just showing how to calculate the mass of water. Water contains two hydrogens, one oxygen. All they've done is multiply and they've added it up.
the one at the top?
One at the top. 1 mole contains so many particles. That's all there is to it. Yeah. Okay? Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay. You need some more practice with calculating molar mass. Is that right? We'll get a lot of practice, but let's move on to the next topic, which is percent composition. What is percent composition? Here is what percent composition means. It doesn't matter that you're doing it in chemistry. Doesn't matter wherever in the world you do percent composition. Percent composition means for what score you got on the test divided by the whole, whatever is the test out of, times 100. Yes or no? Percent composition is always part by whole times 100. So now Let's do strontium nitrate. What is the formula for strontium nitrate? Charge on strontium is +2. Nitrate is -1. Correct? Correct?
Yes.
So I multiply nitrate side by
2.
2. So what is my formula for strontium nitrate? SrNO3
2.
2. Correct? So this compound strontium nitrate contains which elements? Strontium, nitrogen, oxygen. How many strontium atoms? 1. How many nitrogen atoms? 2. How many oxygen atoms? 6. What is the mass of one strontium off of the periodic table?
87.6.
87.62. What is it for nitrogen? 14.01.
01, sorry.
What is it for oxygen? 16. Now what do? I multiply 87.62. 28.02. 96. Is that right? Correct? Did I do this right? Did I do it right?
Yep.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Did anybody do it on the calculator? You got the same answer? Okay.
There's only one.
What is it?
Oh no, sorry, I entered it wrong.
Okay. So now we say we want to find the percent of strontium in strontium nitrate. All right? So what becomes my part? So I want to find percent strontium. So my part is 87.62. What is my whole? 211.64 times 100. What is that? What is the percent of strontium in the given compound? I need you to calculate this. Huh? Times 100?
Yeah, 40.
It's 40.41.
41.4.
41.40%. Let's do the percent of nitrogen. What is percent nitrogen? 28.02 divided by what? 211.64 times 100. What's the percent of nitrogen?
13.24.
13.24%. And what's the percent of oxygen? 96.00 divided by 211.64 times 100. What is that?
45.36.
45.36. What do all percentages add up to? 100. All these percents, you can double check your work. If you add up and you get them close to 100. Are we good? So, can we do a problem? Can you do ammonium carbonate by yourself? Can everybody write the formula of ammonium carbonate and do it themselves? Yes. In class right now?
NH minus. Notice, I feel the sweet substance.
0 plus 1. So that would be NH 4.
Write your charges. Yeah.
What?
That's good.
Good?
That's good.
Wait, what if the subscript is negative?
It cannot be negative. There is no negative subscript. You balance out the charges.
IH minus.
Let's double check we get the formula correctly before we proceed. What is the charge on ammonium? Ammonium is a
Oh.
+1. Carbonate is a -2. So which side do you multiply? The ammonium side.
I couldn't read my
Is that right? So what is the formula for ammonium carbonate? 2CO3. Is that right? Is everybody getting that to be the formula? So what do you do next? Distribute, calculate the number of atoms, find the molar mass. From the molar mass, you find the percent count. Is anybody from this class going to stay after today? On which side they can stay after? Or was it 6th period?
6th period.
6th period? Anybody who needs to retake a test or something and needs a task from me, I think it would be a great idea to come tomorrow during line time, do some test corrections, and retake it Thursday after school. Correct?
Didn't you Friday after school?
Generally, I don't stay after on Friday.
You take your line time?
Yeah, you can come tomorrow during line time, right? And then Friday line time is you're welcome. Okay?
Take it on Thursday.
You need 2 days to retake a test. You first need to do corrections on a certain day, and then you'll come in and retake the test again. Okay? So make sure you allocate 2 days. Mhm. That is correct. Yeah. 1 day is not enough, Sean. Build in another day.
I'm not.
Okay. So tomorrow is what, Wednesday? And I'm also not available after school tomorrow. But what about Thursday after school?
After school. This is 100%. Let's think about it. I'm going to scrimmage. I don't want to.
Wednesday? On Friday, Friday's
Doing practice.
no. We like stay after school and then like the bus will take us.
I want to do practice. So,
What time does practice start? You have 3 to 4, you can come in and do press
Like
correction.
if like your mom, if like your parents are like driving to practice, like you can stay.
Are you going to the place to do practice? Right?
Oh yeah. Swim practice. We have to we
Oh,
go.
you go somewhere. All right, so what do we have? How many nitrogen? We have nitrogen, hydrogen, carbon, and oxygen. How many nitrogen atoms? 2. Hydrogen is 8, carbon is 1, oxygen is 3. What is the mass? 14.01, 1.01, 12.01, 16.00. Is that right? This will be 28.02, 8.08, 12.01, and this is 48. Is that right? And then you add up 8, 9, 10, 11, 1, 8, 3s are 24, 25, 26, 2, 4, 4, 8, 9. Did you get this as the molar mass?
Yeah.
Right? This is the molar mass, correct? Did I calculate that right? Okay, now you find the percent of nitrogen, which will be what? 28.02 divided by 96.11 times 100. That's going to be 8.08 by 96.11 times 100. 12.01 by 96.11 times 100. And you have 48.00 by 96.11 times 100. Can I get the values? Anybody has values? Yes, look. Nitrogen, what is the percent?
39.15.
39.15. 29, okay. 29.15. What about the next one?
8.41.
8.41. Sam?
12.50,
12.50. And what about the last one?
49.94.
49.94. Are we good with how to calculate molar mass and from molar mass to find percent count? Are we good? You can do as many problems as you want. Oh wait, I didn't stop this at all. Oh, I'm going to stop.